You have to realize that in January of '01, this campus, we didn't have University Hall, we didn't have a quad, we didn't have a colonnade, we didn't have, Lincoln Hall was under construction, we didn't have Founders, we didn't have the rec center, a lot of stuff. But still there was something, a lot of parking lots. Still was something rather attractive about it. In particular, nobody knew I'd been offered the job. In fact, Ed Wojcicki picked me up at the airport, picked Carol and me up. He was on the search committee. But nobody knew we'd been offered the job, they just knew we were one of the candidates. But when we walked into Sangamon Auditorium and looked around there, Carol and I said to each other almost at the same time, wow. And the conclusion we drew there is, you know, this is classic. This is Kennedy-esque. Wouldn't it be neat to take this campus and make everything feel like this auditorium?
I'm standing in one of the new townhouses here in Trillium Court. Trillium Court will be our newest set of townhouses.
What Jim Stuckel said to me, and rings in my ears every day, he said, Rich, you can go there, or the other universities you're looking at, and you can tweak around the edges and you can do things. But here, we need somebody to do more than tweak. We need to create something special. And I think you'd enjoy that a lot more. The first thing that happened, of course, was that was the fall we brought in the first honors group. And you really have to give my predecessor, Dr. Naomi Lynn, incredible credit. That was a political minefield to get through to be able to bring freshmen here. It is so emotional to know how hard we've worked for this facility and other facilities. I think the community is very excited about UIS and a lot of the things we've done over the last decade, the buildings, the colonnade and quad have that I think, and really upping the visibility of the fine arts. And of course we had 5 athletic teams, now we have 11. It's really great to have 1,100 students living on campus. When I first came that April, this is a good story, I'd stand here on my 5th floor and look out in the middle of the afternoon, in the middle of class time, see nobody. I was going to rent pedestrians and have them just mill around outside. We don't have to rent pedestrians anymore. We have all those students living on campus, and that'll probably increase. And that's fun. And then the rec center allowed us to get campus students and off-campus students together in there. That's a very proud moment for me when we opened the rec center. If you ask me flat out, what do you think the greatest thing that happened during your decade here, I would say the strategic plan. The strategic plan that set goals, said what we were. We got to keep our eye on that plan. We are completely unique in the state of Illinois, really almost unique in the Midwest, where you can get a liberal arts, small liberal arts college feeling education for the price of a public higher education. And there's just not very many of those. And I think there's a lot of signs that we're catching on.
During the first 4 short months that I've been your chancellor, and honestly I have to tell you it seems a lot longer, but for all the right reasons. During that time I've come to realize that what UIS is and what UIS has to offer is truly something special.
In preparation for my 10th convocation speech, I got out my first one. And my first one said that we're a place where we perhaps have been known in the past, but we're going to always be known as a place that puts students first. And that's what we've always done. There's a tremendous change in our faculty, and not for better or for worse. But we really have developed what's called the teacher-scholar model, where our faculty members could be anywhere. Our new faculty members could be anywhere. They're tremendous scholars. They chose to come to a place where their first responsibility is teaching undergraduates. I see UIS being one of the first places students think about when they get ready to go to college, not just local people. I want to come back when I'm really old instead of just kind of old and look at this place and say, wow, look at it go. That's my hope.
It's just absolutely splendid to see all of you here this afternoon. A lot of memories, I know, for Rich and Carolyn tied up with the people who've come out to mark this occasion. Under Chancellor Ringeisen's leadership, UIS was transformed. We solidified our identity, both within the University of Illinois and on the national scene.
If you weren't impressed with a chancellor who uses words like golly and wow, then you can't be impressed. But if you look around this campus, what can we say except golly and wow at all that he and Carolyn have accomplished.
Carolyn, we said we'd do these things together. And everybody in this room knows that we did.
We're so proud of you and all that you've done for us. We know that the future will be bright with all of the pathways that you've led us through over the last 9 years. And I think that this crowd here this evening, I think every leader in our community is here to thank you and to say goodbye to you tonight.
You know, I quoted Abraham Lincoln. Now I have to quote one more time my favorite philosopher. That's Dr. Seuss, who said, "The places I'd hike to, the road that I'd ramble, to find the best eggs that have ever been scrambled." If you want to get eggs you can't buy in a store, you got to do things never thought of before. We scrambled some pretty good eggs. We've done things never thought of before. Keep the faith. Don't stop.